Alright everyone, we are back and more E3 gameplay, this time from a Twitch feed. Yeah, so we're going to go over this. It looks like we get a nice shot of the select screen in this one. So what we're going to do is I have a Razor with me. Razor, say hi.
How's it going?
Hey. Alright. You were talking to them, not me. Oh my god, so embarrassing. Okay, we're going to go over this, so hopefully you guys are tuned in to all this Injustice goodness, Injustice 2 I should say. And if you haven't been checking this out, hopefully we can get you some footage maybe you haven't seen. If not, if you already got your eye on the ball and you've already seen it, well, hey, we're going to react to it and talk about it and discuss it and have some fun here. And 3, 2, 1, start.
What's exciting about this is we're coming back here with three
Alright,
returning
so
characters, three
we've
brand
got,
new characters. You know, Aquaman,
28
Superman, Batman,
select screen
everybody
boxes.
is aware
Yep,
of, but,
and
you know,
that's
the
a
introduction of
yeah, that's a good
Supergirl,
sign
which is
because
really exciting.
28 means, I mean, they've stuck with their numbers in the past quite often. With the 24 that we received with Injustice 1 was there from the start, I believe.
They're usually pretty close. They
Right.
did add an extra row to MKX, but that row consisted of Goro and a random select slot, so...
Gotcha. So,
Uh,
and then,
we
yeah, the
got
silhouettes are
silhouettes.
silly again. You can tell the left top one was like a bear or something.
a bear or a cat or something. There's at least two guys in a top hat. I'm pretty sure the bottom right is Quan Chi.
Right.
And with the sequel, of course, we're going to add new characters.
I like how they attack each other on the select screen.
What we're calling the gear system.
Like, Atrocitus is just barfing all over
Right.
Grodd's stomach.
Right. That is awesome.
Differentiated from
I love little details like that.
differentiating it from other fighting games.
Wow, very cool. So, like, with each match that you fight, you'll be grabbing gear, or how does that work?
Yeah, so like after a fight is done, you're going to
Alright,
acquire
so-
some gear, and the gear actually powers up your character. So
I believe the stage is Crime Alley, where the Waynes got shot.
Right, that's what I was thinking myself with
right
the
there?
theater and all of that.
and
Yeah, the Monarch Theater, that's
Right.
playing the game,
where they saw Zorro and then they got shot.
Right, exactly. That's what I was thinking as well. And you can see Anarchy's symbol, it looks like, on the truck there.
to your character,
Yeah,
So that makes
power your
sense.
character up in different ways, you know. Defense,
kind of robot police drone over their heads.
your ability,
Interactable, I'm sure.
What the hell do we have in the bottom of the screen here?
and your health.
We have a
Uh,
cat.
You are in a constant
Like
Atrocitus's trait is apparently calling in Dexstar.
Gotcha.
I think Grodd's is his head glowing with telepathy energy or something.
Gotcha. Okay. Because I was wondering what the hell that was. But yeah, that makes sense.
You know, what you said is really key. It's like your Superman, your Batman, your Aquaman against somebody
This is
else.
a fairly minimalist HUD, same as MKX.
Right.
Molding your
Very
version
sleek,
of
minimalist,
characters
kinda, yeah.
That go up against somebody else.
I love that idea because you see so often.
I love the spotlight. I was mentioning in my other video that the spotlight here is really cool on the characters.
Now, like you said,
Yeah,
have
yeah, I like the lighting.
they all focus on like more offense type gear, versus maybe Swifter's defense type.
Dexter is so funny.
You notice here the big transition. We actually get, you get
I like this transition.
Yeah.
to a new arena where there's a whole new palette of objects that you
The let's go to the lobby animation on
Yeah.
the screen.
Exactly. Makes me want to go get some snacks.
You look at these characters again.
$6 for popcorn, sir.
Yes. Yes. That is not fun.
He's all about anger and hate and blood. So he has all these kind of blood moves. He can bring out the flying cat. Yeah. His name's Dexter. He's actually also a Red Lantern.
The fact that they added Dexter in there just floating there for the fight is pretty neat, or calling him in
Yeah.
or whatever. It's a cool touch.
Very, very respectful to the lore. I
Right.
like that.
Primal moves mixed
Oof.
in with telekinetic moves. He's blasting them down back.
So he said in an interview on Facebook, actually a live Q&A, that at most they're going to have 2 stages in a stage. So you're not going to have like 3 stages in one kind of level or whatever you want to call them. 3 different locations. It'll be 2 locations max, and you'll still have some with just one, kind of like Atlantis and Injustice 1.
Interesting.
So got a good mix there.
was plenty that had 3 in the first one. There was just like Metropolis, I think.
Right.
So here's where we were talking about in terms of the gear. Like when you
Oh, the Bat Cave, I think, had 3, didn't it?
Yeah, I think there was a couple there that had 3.
Mm.
And then we see the gear system for the first time here as well. I touched upon it in the last video, but we finally see some info here. Basically, strength, agility, defense, and health. I think were the 4. Or
So
HP.
they do affect your statistics, not special moves.
Correct. It looks like your stats are being adjusted by it. Which is interesting to think like a character will actually have more HP than another character, which makes sense if you think about it. Beyond like the tournament aspect of like the game, why wouldn't Superman have more HP than Harley Quinn? I don't know. It just makes sense, but it'd be interesting to see how it's utilized in what game modes it's put in and how it's done. I was touching upon it in my last video that I like the idea of an RPG element added to the game because it gives you more stuff to do, more addictive stuff to like collect and get into for when you're just playing by yourself. So it's not just you versus the computer. You're actually trying to unlock more stuff. So I don't know. I think it's a cool idea if done well. It's kind of like, as I said, mixing the mobile game with the main game. It's kind of interesting.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, for one player, that's a pretty cool idea.
Exactly, and I'm sure there's ways to turn it off as well.
I mean, the thing you look at most of the costumes we're seeing in these gameplay videos are very sort of bare bones, and like Batman and Superman don't even look like they're wearing belts.
Right.
So
exactly.
It was fantastic. It was.
I sort of. And if you listen to some of the things Ed's saying, it does sound like it won't just be like armor. There'll also be like capes and cowls and actual like costume pieces that are just
right. Because I noticed in the last video that Aquaman has another trident you can get. That's one of his armor things he can have. So you can have a different trident version that has different stats. So stuff like that.
Yeah. So like I like the idea because it means that like if I'm not satisfied with what I have at the base, I can hopefully get enough costume pieces to basically build whatever costume I want.
Exactly.
Like the combo system or like the mechanics. I'm sure you guys are still kind of.
And he did say in the Q&A as well that returning characters will receive new moves. It's not just going to be the returning normals and specials as we've seen. They will add more new things to each character.
Yeah, well, from what I saw in the other gameplay video that already came out,
right.
Batman's normals looked very similar to Injustice 1. Like,
exactly.
It looks
Same
like
with
the
Aquaman.
returning characters have a lot more carryover than anybody did from MK9 to MKX.
Right.
Yeah, that's a big part. Act like in Mortal Kombat, you always have like these like awesome, very custom interactions between characters, and is that like exactly? We were so happy with how that turned out, and these characters, they have a lot of them have relationships with each other, and they have stories famous stories. They make references to those stories. It's great. So you see a lot of nods.
That's cool that they reference stories and famous story arcs and stuff like that.
And or something you might have seen.
Yeah,
And it's great how you see those.
I noticed in the other one when Batman comes out at the very beginning and he's talking to Supergirl, he says, "I'm not Clark's enemy." So I'm wondering, like, is this going to be another thing where you'll have the characters from the Injustice universe and then also from the regular Earth, or is the story like actually going to try and redeem Emperor Superman somehow?
Right.
Or
Yeah, I'm not sure. That is interesting.
I feel like after you heat vision a hole through Billy Batson's face, you're kind of done being a good guy.
Yeah.
You don't come back from that.
They're your favorite character. You love how they play. There's going to be some familiarity about it, but there's also other layers of stuff. Yeah.
Oh man.
Supergirl, she's not messing around. Yeah. There's
These statues are interesting in this stage.
Right.
You got Clark Kent, and then I guess that's Superman holding Lois.
Right.
Can't really tell who those people in the middle are.
The guy is actually like kind of spinning through the train here.
Oh, are we about to see it? Yeah.
There we go. Oh, that's great.
I love how it's Aquaman too. He's just getting knocked around.
Or Aquaman. Yeah. He's got this awesome super move that's it's probably one of my favorite ones in the game right now. It's just kind of really
Love this stage, just the old-timey bar slash like it just has like a boxing bag right there.
Yeah.
Wow. I think we're seeing it right now. Look at that. Oh!
And for the first time, I've noticed you see actual numbers on health as it's being taken away.
Yeah.
You see that like 28 or 38.10. I mean, usually you get your damage on when you're doing combos like that, but like you actually see the health amount being taken away. That's interesting.
Exactly. You know,
One thing I noticed that I'm not really digging is when you beat a guy, he still like bounces back to his feet and then drops to his knees instead of just staying down.
Right.
It's an awkward animation.
Yeah.
I really wish they'd do something about that.
So yeah, he's using, you can see right there, the Ocean King's Rage. It's a legendary trident. That's kind of cool that there's pieces like that.
Yeah.
I think that's the end of the gameplay.
The game is looking fantastic. You said we're going to be waiting until 2017 to be able to play it.
Yeah, videos about it.
As always told.
But like I like what I'm seeing so far. I'm honestly a lot more hopeful for this game than the initial CGI trailer made me feel, where they were like attaching armor to armor in the middle of a fight.
Right. No, I'm in complete agreement with you there. I don't know. I think it's going to be cool. I think there's going to be a lot of elements added for... I'm not worried about like the tournament scene. I'm really not. I feel like they're not going to shoot themselves in the foot there. I think the armor and all that's going to play more to the casual element, which is fine because you need to have things for everybody to kind of remain interested in the game. When you're playing by yourself or when you're playing with friends.
Yeah. I imagine like if for the tournament you just don't have to use the armor; it's optional.
Right.
Or like maybe there'll even be like a thing where you can turn off the stat bonuses and have it be just cosmetic.
Sure. So I don't know. I'm interested. Yeah.
Yeah, but just in terms of like what I'm feeling towards the game, it's like when your first shot of Superman is he's got like a Gambit headpiece and gloves on. I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then you show me Superman who just looks like Superman, and I'm like, all right, that's fine.
Right.
This is a game I'll play.
Yeah, the characters are looking really good. If we get 28 off the bat for the initial roster, that would make me happy. I said 26 to 28 would make me happy. 28, obviously, in the later part of that would be great. My hypothesis that I said in the other videos, maybe they're bringing the same characters with the same normals and stuff from the last game, just adding to them this time, rather than building them straight from the ground up this time in a way to get more characters in the initial roster.
Yeah. Like the more you keep, the easier it is to bring guys back
and to balance and do all that type of stuff. So it's just bringing in, maybe it's allowing them to expand their initial roster and balance it out correctly, which means in the end, if we get Batman with a lot of the same stuff, but then he has 20% new stuff, some new special moves, some new little tricks and this and that and more combos, I don't necessarily think that's a bad thing. So I think you get a lot more characters that way, then I'm all for it. And I don't know, I'm excited from what we've seen though thus far, and I'm not really intimidated by the armor system. I think it could add a nice wrinkle to the whole system to add more to the single player experience and have you strive for more. So I don't know.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I have high hopes now.
Cool, that's good. I'm seeing a lot of good stuff from a lot of people that maybe were a little bit iffy at first, but now they're starting to buy into it a little bit more, get excited for it. So the one thing that they could do that really will just make me just sing the praises of this game, other than the roster is being really good so far, the sound design. The one complaint I will say real quick is the sound, like the announcer is still that generic monotone voice.
Yeah, that
Batman
that
wins.
Lady,
yeah,
she's like the Bat computer or something.
Yeah, like
that's
just doesn't even care. Like just has no interest in the fight at all. Superman wins, I guess. Yeah.
You really want the hype voice from like Killer Instinct. That's the ideal.
You need something with some definite punch to it.
It needs to sound angry.
Exactly.
An announcer should always sound angry for no reason.
Right. But yeah, the one thing that they could do that just really just make me sing the praises is announce that there's microtransactions with the armor, as we already know there's going to be, but make it so that way we get free DLC. That would be awesome.
Like if those could like pay for everything else so that the stuff you really want is free.
Exactly.
I mean, that would be ideal. I wonder how many people would actually buy the microtransactions. Like, it has to be viable.
It worked. I mean, it worked for Halo 5. They sold millions in microtransactions, and that paid for all the DLC and updates they did, and that's what they're doing with Overwatch, so I'm hoping that's what we get here.
Yeah, I suppose.
I think there's enough people that buy into microtransactions to make it so DLC, it's a viable way of getting more money than what they would have gotten just by selling DLC. Because there's a lot of people out there that won't buy the DLC or won't pay for it all or this or that or just will wait for the complete edition. So if they just do microtransactions, $1 here, $1 there, a lot of people will buy into that, and you end up getting more money that way.
Yeah, that's true.
But on that note, yeah, I mean, we pretty much covered that video. Some cool, interesting gameplay there to look at, and I guess we'll stay tuned for the rest of E3 week and see hopefully some more gameplay and get some more info, and then sometime at the end of this week we're going to do some recaps and stuff and go over everything we found out. But on that note, take care, everyone.
Yep. Have a nice day.